What's up, A to Z Sports Live on this Thursday. Going to have a great show talking about the Titans' new message and how it's going to be the attempt to fix maybe the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem from last year's version of this Titans franchise moving forward. Austin Stanley, joined today by Jack Gentry of the Titan Up Podcast. So, Jack, welcome in. Glad to have you on here. And we're going to have a good show talking about what Mike Vrabel is doing. And I thought a couple of pretty eye-opening good comments from new Titans that joined the team in free agency. So we'll play some videos from those new Titans players from this week's press conferences earlier in the week. And so we're going to have a great conversation about that, get you guys involved, about your trust in the Titans to fix their problems or not trusting them. And then there's a couple different strategies that one current Titan is saying that you can take one of two ways in the NFL. Which way is Mike Vrabel doing? We'll find out. Kenny asked, who's the new guy? He's not a new guy. Kenny, you're the new guy. If you don't know who Jack is, then Kenny's the new guy. That's what I'm saying here. So, Jack, welcome in, man. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm looking to create a spark off the bench today. Filling in for Sam. Well, Zach's obviously out on his honeymoon. It's going to be a fun show. We're going to have some fun. We're starting to wander that off-season desert where topics get a little, harder to find. But it's going to be a fun show today. We're glad all you guys are here. While y'all are trickling in, our Facebook crowd, don't forget to share that show. Share it to your Titans groups you're in. Share it to your timelines. Let's bring everybody in this morning. If you're watching on Twitch, text it to your Titans groups. I know that they're listening to the, maybe some sports radio in town. Get the real deal. Come to A to Z. We're going to have a fun discussion today. You're going to get to see us as well. It's a bonus because Austin and I are so good looking. YouTube people, make sure you tap that bell at the top of your screen. Turn your notifications on. And Austin, let's get this thing started.
Yep, let's do it officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports, powered as always by the BetMGM app. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Jack Gentry of the Titan Up Podcast with A to Z Sports. Also, make sure you follow us all over our social media because we are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter timeline. Also hit us up on Instagram and TikTok for more great Titans content. Got to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for us, like Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process by seeing them in Lebanon or at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Get better with Farm Bureau Health Plans, better coverage rates and service. Learn more about a health plan for you, fbhp.com/ATOZ. The Aura app, keeping you safe online. Sign up today with our link for a 2-week free trial, aura.com/ATOZ. And Krebs Kubota. They're an elite Kubota dealer with 3 locations across the mid-state, Columbia, Franklin, and Murfreesboro. And they are online at KrebsKubota.com. So, Jack, just to kind of get this out of the way here, because I see Jody asking, how tall is the new dude, Jack? Because
what's going on here? There's a lot of height comments.
Yeah, so yesterday, GK, who is becoming a large troll for our morning show, was hating on Sam for looking slight. He was giving Sam workout tips. He was also bashing Sam for looking terrible in a hat. And so then turned into, how Sam's like, I'm like 6'3", 220. And he's like, I'm not slight. And so then I was like, I feel like everybody's pretty tall with A to Z outside of me. I'm 5'11". So we went through this whole thing. And then I was like, I think Jack's like 6'2". So what is your official height, Jack? So we can get that out of the way.
Yeah, I'm checking in at 6'2" these days. 5'11's not short either.
Yeah, but it's not tall.
Yeah. I mean, we could run like a small ball lineup if you put us on a court, A to Z.
Yeah, I mean, we went through this it was the very end of the show yesterday, where, I'm 5'11". Sam says he's 6'3", which I buy. Buck and Zach are both at least 6'2", probably 6'3". Maybe depends on what day of the week you get Buck. But, I think we're all pretty tall. Mm-hmm. We're all pretty tall. But
yeah, this is a tall company.
But you need some quickness out there, and with me under 6 foot being out there to go get after it. So that's where I'm at right now. So anyway, but now that we got that out of the way, let's officially dive into the show where there's clearly a new message for the Titans, and they're trying to get better, maybe with Farm Bureau health plans, but also with their injury issues. And we'll talk about this throughout the show. But I think Sean Murphy-Bunting, new Titans cornerback coming over from Tampa, really set the stage on the culture that's being built this time of year at St. Thomas Sports Park. So let's go ahead and hear from Sean Murphy-Bunting, who's going through a little bit more difficult of an offseason program than he's used to in Tampa.
On Mondays, there's something else that's been
that was a curveball. That was a curveball. I woke up on that Monday thinking that I was in for a nice speed day. Mm-hmm. Then he asked if the turf was wet, and then I kind of had an idea of what he was going to say next, and he said what he thought he was going to say. Then it was a curveball. But I'm sorry, what was your question?
Was there another curveball other than the sleds that you guys have looked at each other and said, "Wow, that was hard"?
Oh, every day. Every day is hard. Every day is hard, but it's like it's a good hard, you know. It's like you just come to work, and when you're done, you know you did what you were supposed to do. Like, you know you got a good work in, and then anything you do after that is obviously what you need to work on and things you need to refine, whether it's cold toe, whether it's staying on the field extra. But it's like you get the work in, and it's like I'm hurting, but I feel good, you know. So one of those.
So there's Sean Murphy-Bunting hitting the sleds on Mondays, and then, Jack, immediately after, like the next day, the next opportunity, the Titans social media is like, "Oh, you're talking about sleds on Mondays? Well, we'll give you a sleds video."
When the whistle blows, give it a jump. Here we go.
Woo! Watch it take off, boy. Watch it take off. I'm finna get him. Good, come on.
I saw the push.
You heard the head, man.
This team bonding.
No,
this team bonding. This team bonding. This team bonding. We bonding right now. Let's go, Racing. Stop! Go, Racing. Go, Racing. Push. Push. Ball game.
Done.
Ball game. Another one.
Jack, you said you had coffee this morning for the first time in a few weeks. If you knew we were playing that, you wouldn't need your coffee. That'd get you pretty jacked up.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to run through a wall. I mean, that was awesome. What a great video. And the music, I mean, it kind of just sets the tone for the competitive spirit they were playing with, or at least pushing with. Yeah, really cool to see. Really cool video. So they're definitely getting their sweat in over there.
Yeah, and then I did see somebody saying in the chat here, "Oh, Billy says, is that why the Titans have so many injuries?" And that's, we're going to talk about that throughout today's show. That is the theme, because there's a clear message, but the Titans are really hitting it hard with their workouts so far this preseason and getting into that new message. Jack, you remember this. You've been following this team your entire life. Good to great. You remember good to great? Was it going into the 2019 season where Mike Vrabel had guys walk around up and down the hallways? "Hey, Jack, good morning. How's it doing?" "No, great morning. Great morning. I'm doing great." And that good to great really just blew up and became annoying. But I mean, I think the Titans turned that into something that they could rally behind.
Yeah, it was less annoying when they were actually becoming great. They backed it up with their play. AFC Championship game in 2019. Couple division titles later, and we're having to build it back up again over there. So, I mean, they can call it whatever they want, whatever mantra they want to use is fine with me as long as they're winning games.
Absolutely. So we have the new message from Mike Vrabel that is clearly an attempt to fix one of the biggest problems, in my opinion, the biggest problem over the last couple of years. That is the Titans' health. So we'll get to that message here in a second. But first, I got to tell you guys about Farm Bureau Health Plans. You can get better with Farm Bureau Health Plans. Plan on them for your health, dental, vision. They've been helping Tennesseans out, including Jack, for over 75 years. And you can save money every month on your health coverage, but also get better health coverage with better rates, better coverage, and great customer service. Farm Bureau Health Plans, that they have a ton of locations across the state, 200 plus to be exact, to make it convenient for you. Or just go check them out online. fbhp.com/ATOZ is where to go. That's Farm Bureau Health Plans.
Let me talk to you guys a little bit about BetMGM. They've got a great offer going, and we've got a promo code to help you out. Enjoy all of your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code A-to-Z Sports, that's ATOZ Sports, and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options. Heat bettors last night could have used some of those. They probably cashed in. Player props and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Tennessee only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. First online real money wager only. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. For problem gambling support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.
All right, Jack. So here live on this Thursday show, somebody asked right here, what I missed. Good morning, guys. What I missed. Jack is 6'2". That's what you've missed so far. And the Titans push sleds on Monday. So trying to fix the injury problem that is the biggest problem that's plagued this franchise last year and the year before that. So let's go to new Titans offensive lineman who was Daniel Brunskill, who really dug deep into what the philosophy, the strategy, the methods are behind the Titans' new message, their newest version of good to great going into 2023.
Conditioning's been a big theme with the three guys you heard a little bit there from Aziz. How far beyond what you're used to is what you guys are doing at this stage of the year?
I mean, every team has a different philosophy. Some teams, they like to keep, make sure guys aren't getting injured. They're kind of just doing enough to where guys, are in shape and able to do the things that they can. And then, there's some teams, Vrabel's got, you heard Aziz talk about callous. There's definitely a philosophy of, sometimes doing not enough to stay healthy is good to a certain point, but then you start getting going and then you see injuries happening that way. There's another philosophy where, you work super hard and you kind of build that callus so then, those things don't hurt as bad. And then, you don't get those same injuries that you would because you weren't doing enough kind of thing. So, at the end of the day, it's just different philosophies. I think either of them really work. It's just kind of the point where it's like, what is the team doing? And this team is a run the ball team, a play hard defense team, and then we're going to take our shots down the field. We got playmakers at the receiver position that if we can get them in some space and use the run game to do that a little bit, we can make big plays. So this is more of a team that probably needs that callus because we're going to be playing grinded out football, and then it's kind of one of those things where it's like, tough football rather than, we're spreading it out and, guys are kind of getting a little bit more finesse-like. So I think with the team that we are, it's a really good thing to have the conditioning and have that callus to be able to go longer than the other team.
Build the callus is the new good to great. Blister or callus, build the callus, all of that, right? That is clearly a message that's being said inside the building there at St. Thomas Sports Park. And so look, there's a lot that goes into it. With conditioning, and we'll talk more about, all of this, right? But Jack, pushing the sleds on Mondays, going through all this hard stuff. What is because, somebody said on here, I think it was, where's the comment? I'm glad that Jack's on here. We got a real fan. Denise, need Jack on here once a week to get a real Titans fan. So Jack, you're a Titans fan. You host the Tighten Up podcast. What is that when you watch those guys doing all this hard work, knowing the last 2 years of injuries? How does that make you feel in your gut with, your fandom of oh my gosh, injuries absolutely cannot happen a third year in a row like this?
Yeah. I kind of have mixed feelings, right? Because it's early to be, really pushing it over there. But at the same time, you got to try a different approach sooner or later. it's become so frustrating, and Vrabel sent such a message with some of the moves the team's made over the past offseason or two that, staying healthy is really something that has to be fixed. And it's a problem that really only the Titans are having, especially at like this historic level. So and it's kind of hard to flip that switch on and off. Like, you want to protect your body, but at the same time, with enough time off and without being, in these intense workouts, maybe, you slack off. Maybe these soft tissue injuries are more prevalent that way. So I don't know. For me, I think I like it, especially now that, they don't have these superstars, these older veterans on their team anymore, to where you have to kind of manage their bodies differently than you do some of the younger guys. So I've got mixed emotions, but I think it's a good try, a good strategy.
All right, so here's going to be the interesting question, because I see Jody says insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And then Guy says, what's the definition of insanity? So Caleb says, yeah, that callus hasn't been working too well the past couple of years. And we'll talk about more in depth with the methods and strategy here. But let's ask this question, Jack, to the audience. How much do you trust the Titans to fix their injury issues? I mean, this is a big deal, right? How much do you trust the Titans to fix their injury issues? Let's do this on a 1 to 10 scale, right? 10 being you think that they are ready to roll. That's, it's fixed. You can put it behind you. How much do you trust the Titans to fix their injury issues with building a callus, doing sleds on Mondays, working hard? Sean Murphy Bunting was talking about how difficult it was and it is to work out under Mike Vrabel as the head coach. So how much do you trust the Titans can fix their injury issues on a 1 through 10 level here? But real quick, let me tell you guys, you can get your brand new vehicle at Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process, because everybody understands that you don't just walk on to the first car lot you go to and dealership you go to, and, yep, that's mine, I'm buying it, right? It's a process. You go through it, you go back and forth, you check and cross-reference and go compare different prices and models and everything, right? Make Wilson County Hyundai a part of that process, because that's all they need. They need you to walk up, see how great they are, see how friendly they are, see how much they want to take care of you and make sure that you find the right ride for you. It's also in Lebanon, which is a beautiful drive out to Lebanon, but also going to save you some money because they don't have those downtown prices like we see all over Nashville. But check them out. Easy to get to, right off of I-40, WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Easy is the perfect word to describe the access that BetMGM provides. It's so easy to navigate for first-time users, and you're starting off with an advantage if you use our promo code. Like I said before, enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Use our promo code A to Z Sports, that's ATOZ Sports, and you'll receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. That's for new users. They've got parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, daily boosted odds specials. They've got NFL futures up. You can bet how many games the Titans will win this upcoming season. College football, Vols fans, Vandy fans, whoever's your team, Jeff, Ohio State. You can bet on their win totals as well. So a lot of fun future options to be betting right now. If you want to bet something live to get instant return, the NBA, the NHL, they're going on right now, both in the conference finals. So use BetMGM, but most importantly, use our promo code ATOZ Sports when you sign up.
All right, Jack. So we're asking the question, how much do you trust the Titans to fix their injury issues this season on a 1 through 10 scale? I'll go ahead and send you to the chat and see what everybody's saying on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. How much do you trust the Titans to fix their injury issues as they're trying to build the callus this offseason?
Well, we'll start off hot here with Andrew Frill, who says 1. Ashley says 6. Eric says 4. Mark on YouTube says 4. Kenny says 6. 3.6 from Titans Kyle, a professional scorer, just like DeMarco, 4.8. Steven says 5. Scott Trevathan says 6. Matt Mann, most confident we've seen yet, at 7.7. Billy, 4. Tighten up, 5. Nick Ewing, 5. Tall Texan, not much faith, at a 2. Caleb, same way, 2. Don't want to mispronounced the name. Laoma says 7. Wesley Bates says 5. Rooney, watching on YouTube, says 6. Brooke at a 5. Jason says 3. Jags got juice. Jags fans are allowed in here. 5.
Jags fans have been very talkative this offseason.
That's okay. Let them talk.
Wonder why.
It's a new position for them.
Yep.
Jeff with a 3. Brian says 4. Michael says 2. This is an interesting. After back-to-back years of this issue, I'd say a solid 9. Sherrod says 4. Mr. Jones 6.9. Nice. 7.5 from Robbie. Pistol Ramsey 8. Cameron 4. Guyman 3. So Austin, I'm going to turn it to you. We've seen a lot of the chat. Most of them are coming in under 5.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I was looking through as you were going. I think 8 is typically the highest that I've seen. I do see Amar saying 10. I guess there was a 9 in there, right? But still pretty low, right? And I think that's, a couple comments were pointing out they haven't done anything different with the training staff. The strength and conditioning staff is still the same, but why should we expect anything different? So I think I have to look at the personnel. I think the personnel is the changeover of why I'm going to feel a little bit more confident. I'm going to say it's 6. I'm not going to go super high. I think there's just a lot of bad luck the Titans have had the last couple of years, and then bad personnel or personnel who has been having lingering issues that continue to get hurt or get other players hurt. Like Ryan Tannehill had been super healthy. He broke Steve McNair's consecutive start streak for a Titans quarterback. And then Dennis Daly, being a turnstile left tackle, got him rolled up on once. And then he got rolled up on again and needed that tightrope ankle surgery and he was done. But that's not Ryan Tannehill's fault. Like Ryan Tannehill's training process in the offseason didn't get him hurt. Dennis Daly got him hurt. And so I think that's where you take him off the field. Then you've got the group of veteran cuts that they made, especially with Taylor Lewan and Bud Dupree, who are constantly, if you're talking about Dennis Daly being a turnstile at left tackle, I mean, Bud Dupree and Taylor Lewan were going through the turnstiles of availability of whether they were on or off, in or out, start the game, then leave the game early. And so I think I'm at a 6 because they're getting younger. They're getting guys that have not had injury situations. And so I say 6 because I also think they're going to not have as much just flat out bad luck. So I'm at a 6 out of 10 trust level.
Yeah, I'm a believer in the whole you make your own luck situation. And I like that you address the personnel because they have gotten a little bit younger. They've done well to protect Tannehill with some of these O-line moves. I think that we can all agree the offensive line this season should be better than what it was last season. Again, these injuries are going to be the determining factor, of course. But I just feel like the moves that they've made and the fact that they have gotten younger, the fact that some of these injuries were ACLs. I mean, there were a lot of ACLs last year, a lot of knee, a lot of Dontrell Hilliard as well with the leg injury. Bud Dupree kind of came in with that baggage and left with it not having really improved a whole lot. His value, kind of hit the floor a little bit just because he couldn't stay on the field. Landry's coming back. He's still really young. I'm going to put this at an 8 because coming off of historically terrible numbers. And I mean, it's not every year that you're going to run out 90, 95 different players. While I said, you make your own luck, I also think that, eventually water finds its level. It can't stay this way. It's not just going to stay at the 95 level, the historically, tumultuous rate of injuries that the Titans have been going through these past few seasons. And I think there's also a lot of pressure with some of these guys who've been dealing with some of the stuff in the past. You see the Titans part ways with David Long, who, signed a very affordable contract.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they could have easily brought him back for that number, but because of his hamstring stuff, they said David Long hit the door. And I think a lot of these guys who've been dealing with some of these issues are on high alert now. Christian Fulton, I mean, he just saw what happened to his buddy David Long. He could be next if he goes down this season.
And Jack, that's where the blister or callus comment first began. It was by Mike Vrabel in the season-ending press conference after losing to the Jags in the last week of the season. Got up to the podium, named those two guys by name, Christian Fulton, David Long Jr., and said repeat offender. And do you want to be a blister or do you want to be a callus? And that's where this entire messaging started. And Christian Fulton's got one more year in his deal. David Long was a pending free agent, and David Long is out. And I agree. I thought, $5 million or what was it? 2 years, 11 million max for David Long in Miami. That's nothing for what that guy was at times there overall. And so, I'm looking more at comments. I saw a comment from Devin saying, bad luck, including Lawan's botched knee surgery. Look, that's a pending lawsuit. It has not been proven that Dr. James Andrews botched Taylor Lewan's knee injury and ACL reconstruction, but Lewan believes that. So we'll kind of have to see how that plays out. But
he's also not a team doctor. He's an independent doctor.
Right. That is that is correct. For sure about that. And so Mr. Jones says, Dud Dupree soft. What more can you expect from a Kentucky player?
Hey, come on. We've got a new Kentucky player now.
That's right. And then I wanted to, Dylan Radins tore his ACL. We'll have to see how he bounces back overall. And, you bring up Harold Landry, a guy who was never hurt, always reliable, always playing a high percentage of snaps, just tearing his ACL in like the very last preseason practice and being lost for the year after having that big contract. So a comment I want to get to, John throws in a YouTube super chat, says drafting injured players isn't changing anything. And I think when you're talking about personnel, I mentioned, the veterans, the older guys of Bud Dupree and Lewan, who are consistently in and out of lineup because of multiple injuries or repeat injuries. Also, Caleb Farley being drafted as an injured guy, using injuries in college that can create extra value because they drop a little bit. And then the Tajay Spears conversation just goes into this too of like, oh my gosh, you just been the most injured football team in league history the last 2 years. And you draft a running back who has torn his ACL twice, has arthritis, has all these other things. And now you're going to try to keep him healthy too.
Yeah. I just feel like the free agent, the bringing on free agents with injury troubles and older free agents with injury troubles. I mean, we saw it with Vic Beasley, Jadeveon Clowney, Julio Jones, even all of those guys. You knew that, injuries were probably a little bit more likely with those guys when they came in. And compared to this, to Rand Carthon's first free agency class. Now, Carthon hasn't exactly knocked it out of the park. He didn't have a whole lot of money to do so in the first place. But these guys are all under the age of 30 years old. That goes a long way with injury prevention. Just, fresher bodies coming in. So it's a multifaceted issue. There's a lot of moving parts when you talk about these injuries. It's clearly the biggest frustration from a Titans fan's perspective. Like that is the thing that irks me the most. Why can't this football team, when other teams don't have this issue, why do they consistently come out to be one of the most injured teams in football? You've got to look everywhere. You're turning over every single stone to try and figure out what could possibly be going wrong. But that's also the reason why I think that, that they're emptying the clip this year. They're doing everything that they can to figure out how to solve this damn issue that's been plaguing them for, the past couple of seasons in a way that, in a historical way. We haven't seen this from anyone else, not just in the league recently, but ever.
Yeah, I'm looking at more. Jody says McMath could be good if he stayed healthy. And that, again, it's not just older players, right? It was like Racy McMath, who was Kyle Phillips. Racy was deep threat Racy, like for all of August. And it was legit. Like the dude was just blowing by everybody in the Titans secondary on a consistent basis. And then a phantom hip injury puts him on IR for the next 4 months. And nothing comes of it, right? And so now you're sitting here like, what the heck is Racy McMath? Can he do anything for you going into his third year? Third year for Racy there. But like, again, it's very confusing of trying to figure this out. I know injuries will always happen in football, but it just seems like the Titans cannot catch a break with any of this going on. Like I saw somebody mention Jamarco Jones, who was supposed to be extra offensive line help than depth. And he never played anything for the Titans. Like he signed.
He was just taking up room in the cold tub. That's all he was doing in Tennessee.
Yeah, he signed here and then just didn't play. Like I don't think he logged a regular season snap. I think he never got out of injured reserve after training camp.
Yeah, that was definitely frustrating. And I saw John comment, something about Tajay Spears. It was definitely a confusing pick. Like, with all of those issues, you better be sure that ACL is not going to be an issue because you can't afford it. I mean, with Dontrell Hilliard coming off the injury, Hassan Haskins and Derrick Henry's getting older. I mean, we saw, that he's a mortal when he got hurt with his Jones fracture. So there's a lot of pressure, not only on these players, but on this training and conditioning staff.
Yeah.
They've got to make sure that these dudes are going to be durable for the 17-game season. And Vrabel's got to figure it out too. I know it's frustrating for him probably more than all of us, but I don't know whether it's a management thing. I don't know if you just got to flip that switch on and keep it on like he's doing at these off-season programs. But they've got to figure out a new way of doing things over there.
I think I accidentally hit that comment there. All right, so Jack, let's get to this because I want to go back and Daniel Brunskill mentioned the build the callus, blister a callus, and so there's a couple different directions that the Titans could approach this based off of people coming in from free agency to the Titans after being with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers, two teams that have been very successful in the past, and having two strategies to take, for Mike Vrabel's methods or Mike Vrabel's madness, one or the other. So we'll hear from Daniel Brunskill again about this. But first, let me tell you guys about our new friends at Krebs Kubota. They are an elite Kubota dealer across the mid-state with locations in Columbia, Franklin, and in Murfreesboro. I checked out the Murfreesboro location last week. Incredible. Awesome spot because they've got anything and everything for your equipment needs around your house, whatever property you got going on, whatever applications you need to take care of, and projects around your property. If you need power units, big or small, they've got them. If you need a mower, if you live on a really difficult hill, they've got the right mower for you to do that safely. If you need any type of specialty project gear, they've got it right there, and they've got the best equipment in the industry with Krebs Kubota, being an elite Kubota dealer. And there's a lot of other things that come with being a Kubota dealer. It's customer service. It's the service in general and the ability to get something fixed when something goes down that other brands don't have. Krebs Kubota has that direct line to Kubota to make it the best actual equipment, but the absolute elite service that you deserve for any of your projects around your property. So check them out online at KrebsKubota.com or at one of their three locations across the mid-state, Franklin, Columbia, or Murfreesboro, KrebsKubota.com.
A to Z Sports is also helping you fund your purchase of the Krebs Kubota with BetMGM. We've got a promo code going on right now. ATOZ Sports will get you $1,000 in bonus bets. For new users. You'll receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win that first bet. So make sure to register with BetMGM. If you don't have a sports book, you don't like your sports book, you want a new one, you want a fresh start, maybe turn some luck, use our code A to Z Sports. Sign up with BetMGM. It's such an easy app to navigate, especially for first-time users. They've got tons of advantages on BetMGM that are user-friendly that will help you take home money. So use our promo code ATOZ Sports when you sign up with BetMGM.
All right, so let's get back to Daniel Brunskill, who was talking about the two different philosophies that NFL teams can take when it comes to their players in the offseason for the best product on the field. So here is the new Titans offensive lineman.
Conditioning's been a big theme with the three guys you heard a little bit there from Aziz. How far beyond what you're used to is what you guys are doing at this stage of the year?
I mean, every team has a different philosophy. Some teams, they like to keep, make sure guys aren't getting injured. They're kind of just doing enough to where guys, are in shape and able to do the things that they can. And then, there's some teams, Vrabel's you heard Aziz talk about callus. There's definitely a philosophy of, sometimes doing not enough to stay healthy is good to a certain point, but then you start getting going and then you see injuries happening that way. There's another philosophy where, you work super hard and you kind of build that callus so then, those things don't hurt as bad. And then, you don't get those same injuries that you would because you weren't doing enough kind of thing. So, at the end of the day, it's just different philosophies. I think either of them really work. It's just kind of the point where it's what is the team doing? And this team is a run the ball team, a play hard defense team. And then, we're going to take our shots down the field. We got playmakers at the receiver position that if we can get them in some space and use the run game to do that a little bit, we can make big plays. So, this is more of a team that probably needs that callus because, we're going to be playing grinded out football. And then, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, tough football rather than, we're spreading it out and, guys are kind of getting a little bit more finesse-like. So I think with the team that we are, it's a really good thing to have the conditioning and have that callus to be able to go longer than the other team.
Inner Brunskill, he says that they need to be a build the callus type of team. So our question here, Jack, is which strategy do you prefer from the Titans? The build the callus or the protect from injury like Brunskill kind of threw out there? Do you want to make sure that you are keeping yourself fresh, or do you want to work yourself tough to build the callus? So I think I'm very curious to see what the chat says on this. Do you think the Titans should build the callus or go full protect from injury because of what they've seen the last couple of years? Jack, I'll let you get started as the comments fly in.
Yeah. I think this is an easy one. I really do.
Okay.
You're a football team that brands yourself on being Tennessee tough, and you want to hold it back at off-season program. You want to hold it. You're worried about going full speed, but you want to be Tennessee tough. You want to be a team that wears out your opponents late in the games by running the football. But no. We don't want to work hard in the off. We don't want to push sleds too early. No. You got to go full on, pedal to the metal, build that callus. Austin, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
The Tennessee Titans have 3 players over the age of 30 on their roster.
That's it?
3 players, according to the website. 3 players over 30.
Okay.
All played in the SEC. I want you to try and name me those 3 players. A couple of them are easy.
Ryan Tannehill did not play in the SEC.
Okay. Well, now in the SEC.
Okay, so I've now hidden the chat. So Ryan Tannehill is one who is over 30. Morgan Cox from the University of Tennessee is also over 30. Let's see. Over 30 in the SEC.
Kind of a sneaky one.
Oh, man, because they have gotten rid of so many, like Ben Jones, Georgia kid, Georgia grad, but not a Titan anymore. Bud Dupree, Kentucky, but not with the Titans anymore.
No more Andy Bullock.
No more Andy Bullock. Is he over 30?
I don't know. It feels like he's like at least 30.
Yeah, kicker years are different.
True. It's like dog years.
Man, all right. So Tannehill and Morgan Cox are the 2 obvious ones.
Chat's onto it.
Yeah, I can't see the chat.
I know. So
how much longer should I continue to guess this?
I'll give you 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
It's another hint. Big time player.
Oh, Danico Autry.
Danico Autry is correct.
Yeah.
3. Can you believe that? The Titans now only have 3 players over the age of 30. And Derrick Henry and Kevin Byard are 29, and so is Brunskill, who was talking about this. But there's no reason to hold back. It's not like they've got a team. It's not like the Bucs were when Sean Murphy Bunting was there, when they had all of these, established vets ready to come in and win now. Like the Titans are clearly starting to direct their attention to not just 2023, but 2024, 2025, 2026, a couple years beyond. So there's no reason for them not to build this callus. You want to fix this injury issue, keep that switch on. Don't turn it off. Keep it on the whole time. Be Tennessee tough. Be that team that can grind games out in the fourth quarter. Ugly games that you have to win by controlling the football. That's who you've got to be. That's what your identity is under Mike Vrabel. So let's stick with that. Let's stick with that early in the offseason. Carry that attitude all the way through the season, and let's see if it gets fixed.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting because a few years ago, every training camp, it was insert name here has his own plan, and we're going to follow his plan, and his plan is different than his teammates' plan. And you can insert the name, and it would be Corey Davis, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota had a plan, Rashaan Evans had a plan, Nate Davis had a plan, all AJ had a plan. All these, Lawan, Ben Jones, all of these guys had their specific maintenance plans, and they would have maintenance days. And so that was a protect, keep yourself fresh, don't overdo it for those guys. And now it's just, I feel like it's a, nah, screw that kind of thing. But I feel like it's a timing deal. It's May, right? The Titans off-season workout program started in April. They're about a month into this thing. This is the time you build the callus. This is the time you push. And then once you get into August and closer to September, then you start to pile and dial it back. And so I agree, Jack. I think this is a build the callus, go, 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 make sure push, get stronger, strain, all of these things that's going to help you physically and mentally at this time of year.
And everyone knows, the Titans, I know that they're not as scary on offense as they once were when they had a certain number 11.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a team that other teams will circle on their schedule and be like, man, that's going to be a tough game. Like, even though we might have a more talented roster, the Titans are going to give us everything they got. And last season, it didn't happen against some of the better teams in the league, but we saw what they did the year before when they went through that gauntlet, when they destroyed the Rams in prime time and ran through Kansas City. Like that, we're just 1 year removed from that type of football. Titans can get back to it. Vrabel hadn't forgotten how to run the ship over there. These are professional athletes we're talking about, and we're worried about them being overworked. Come on now.
Well, David brings up a question, Jack, that I hadn't really thought about, and it actually does make sense. David asks, anyone worried that Derrick Henry is working too hard?
No.
Hold on. You don't think, just let me spell this out here. You don't think there's any validity to at least asking that question? Because here's what I thought. At first, when I read it, I was like, no, there's no way. But then I was thinking, well, why did his foot break? That was as people talked about in the medical field, that was a stress, a volume type of injury that it just broke because it was going to happen because of the volume that he was carrying the football and the amount of stress that was being put on that small bone in his foot. And then it was just going to happen because of everything, right? It was a long stress related break. But he also worked so hard because Derrick Henry missed one game, I think in his rookie year. He missed one game with a calf injury. Now in 2019, they held him out of the Saints game because that game didn't matter. But outside of that, he's been as reliable as you could possibly be from a soft tissue standpoint.
And he's getting 300 carries a year. I mean, running backs in this league don't make it to 29 without being injured at least once. Henry's the exception to the rule. And if Derrick Henry at his age is still, he's like the LeBron James of football. He knows what to do with his body. He knows how to take care of it. He invests in himself, whether that's working out or recovery. Derrick Henry is the last person that I'm worried about. Everyone else saying, oh, the decline's coming at some point in time. He's got to break with this huge workload that the Titans always give him. No, the Jones fracture thing was the only chink in his armor that we've seen. And
yeah, it was an overworking injury, right?
Okay.
Like that was a literal overworking injury.
But don't you think that he knows that as well? And now that if he's still willing to work hard and train like he does, you can't be at the top of your game unless you work like Derrick Henry works. So there's going to be some give and take.
So David brings, I think it's a valid question from David to talk through. I don't think Derrick Henry is working too hard. I think him working that hard leads to him not having muscle strains because his entire body is a callus. Like he doesn't have calluses on his hands. His entire damn body is a callus. And Bork says he's part cyborg. He'll be fine. But again, like Mr. Jones says, the steel plate makes the foot stronger than before the injury. Well, just snap the other one in half and put the steel plate in at prevention. Why
put more steel in him? Make him a man of steel. He already
is. So again, I just think it's like at some point, as every athlete has that moment where it's no longer work harder, it's work smarter instead of harder. And as Derrick Henry is now 29, he turns 30, I think January 4th, 2024 is Derrick Henry's 30th birthday. What is his point of, all right, dial back the intensity to help the longevity, but not have it drop his production or performance level?
Fair question. But for running backs in the NFL, and Derrick Henry, obviously an anomaly. They don't make them like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henrys do not grow on trees. But you're not here for a good time. Or excuse me, you're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time. So you have to just grind it out, work as hard as you can. Your career, you're probably not going to make it into your mid-30s. Like, there is no preserving your body as a running back, especially in the Titans offense. Derrick Henry knows that. Like I've been saying the whole show, you got to keep that on switch on. You can't turn it off. That's when bad things are going to happen. And I mean, if they didn't trust Derrick Henry to stay healthy, you really think that they like drafting Tajay Spears without an ACL in his knee? I mean, wouldn't you want a more stable option coming in if you're really worried about Derrick Henry's longevity?
Well, they haven't extended Derrick Henry's contract. They're cool to have him count $16.6 million on the cap space because they don't feel like they need to extend him yet.
Running backs are touch and go. Like they're undervalued across the league. It's not just a Derrick Henry thing. They're worried about extending Derrick Henry. The Vikings are about to move on from Dalvin Cook because his shoulder can't stay healthy. I mean, you look across the league at the game's greatest running back. Christian McCaffrey may not get a Hall of Fame bid because of how injured he's been. I mean, every single great running back in this league, aside from Derrick Henry, has had multiple injuries where they've missed a chunk of games in different seasons. Derrick Henry is not that. Derrick Henry is him. I'm not worried about a workload with Derrick Henry. If he can handle the ball 350 times a year, I'm not worried about what he does in the offseason. He's clearly got it figured out.
Jacob says he needs 1,500 yards to be extended. No, I'm saying like the benefit to extend Derrick Henry is helpful for this season. They could have extended Derrick Henry and helped them out with cap space this year to go sign somebody else, to go sign a veteran receiver, trade for a veteran receiver if they need it. They need more cap space. They don't have cap space right now to do that because of his cap hit, Byard's cap hit, Tannehill's cap hit, and I think Landry is a cap hit that's pretty high up there too after he's going into the next deal. And then Denise says that, trash Zeke Elliott isn't signed either, but to Zeke's benefit of the doubt, like Zeke should not be signed right now. That's probably Ezekiel Elliott's decision to not sign yet because he wants to find the right situation. And Zeke doesn't want to push sleds on Mondays.
Oh gosh, he's one in and out double away from becoming a fullback.
Hey, or center, right?
Yeah, true.
David says Derrick Henry's workout regimen keeping him healthy during the season, ? I think it is. The rest of the team should be fine with this new offseason program. So look, this is a storyline that we're all going to be discussing and keeping an eye on is will this team stay healthy? Can they actually pull it off and work their asses off in this summer to build a callus to not have these nagging soft tissue injuries and repeat offenders because all they've done is create blisters, right? That's it.
Yeah. Just a random thought that's flying through my brain. Austin, that random thoughts fly through my brain all the time.
Quite frequently.
I don't know a ton about the Titans strength and conditioning department. I don't know a ton about their nutrition program. But when you look at Derrick Henry and his body of work and just the fact that he's been able to stay healthy and manage this huge workload, why haven't the Titans, investigated more into maybe Derrick Henry's trainer should be on our training staff? It seems to work, and a lot of guys go to. It's not just Derrick Henry who trains with these guys. I'm just food for thought.
Why? So you're saying the Titans should go hire Melvin Sanders?
I'm not saying they should hire him. I'm saying they should maybe look into it. I mean, seriously. Like Derrick Henry has been, the staple of good health while managing a ridiculous workload that really hasn't been seen since like the 1960s. So why not just bring him in and talk to him a little bit? Maybe pick his brain a little bit on, what works, what doesn't work. If you're truly turning over every stone, if you're truly committed to figuring out how to fix this injury bug, why don't you go to a trainer that's really figured it out with a running back in the NFL? That's unheard of.
and who is getting if I were Melvin Sanders, then I would always stay independent. I would,
Yeah.
because you can make more money that way
Mhm.
by opening yourself up to other players and being that off-season go-to guy for NBA, NFL, professional athletes across the entire country. But anyway, I think that's bring him in, see what's going on. But I do think this is going to be a make or break year, in my opinion, for the training staff of the Titans, because you started to see the fall guys get knocked off, right? Like Todd Downing, fall guy, gone. John Robinson, fall guy, gone. So now, if it's not going to be Mike Vrabel, right? Mike Vrabel's not going to be take the fall for this. So who is the next fall guy for the next problem the Titans can't fix?
There's no hiding. There's no running and hiding anymore.
No.
You gotta
Keith
face
Carter,
the
fall guy, gone, right? For the offensive line problems. So there's nobody else, there's nowhere else for Vrabel to turn to before he turns around and he has to point at himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and before we fully move on too, can we please both knock on wood? Bork said it. We got to knock on wood. I can't have anything happen to Henry.
Yeah,
we've got to protect him at all costs.
I got you.
Find some wood, knock on it. There we go. All right,
got it. I had to go find the authentic, not just the fake wood that I have my microphone desk on, but the real stuff.
Get you some real wood. Make sure.
Yeah, the real stuff that was built decades ago, not this, Nick Westbrook IKEA things that
not this
built
Gen Z wood. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, A to Z Sports here live on this Thursday, and that means, Jack, the Magic Bucket, and I believe you have the Magic Bucket in your presence.
Oh, I sure do. Got some good juju over here today. Now I'm in control.
Is this the first time you've ever laid your hands in the Magic Bucket?
Yeah, and it feels just right.
Good. Well, Jack has the Magic Bucket, and he'll have all the power. So that's coming up here in a second. But first, let me tell you guys about the Aura app. Download the Aura app. Use our code aura.com/ATOZ, and they will keep you safe online. And you can do that and get a 2-week free trial. Again, aura.com/ATOZ is that link. Type it out into your browser. You need the link because you get 2 weeks free trial by going to it at aura.com/ATOZ. I signed up with Aura a few weeks ago, almost a month ago at this point, actually, and they immediately found 30 data brokers that had my information, were selling it to robocallers and spammers and telemarketers and blowing up my phone, my email, and my actual mailbox. But then Aura removed my information from 29 of those 30. So my phone's been a little quiet. The email's not as spammy, which has been great. So Aura can do that. And they did that in less than 2 weeks. So you can get a 2-week free trial with aura.com/ATOZ. Also a password manager, a credit and identity theft monitoring in real time, parental controls as well, all inside of one app. So check them out right there, aura.com/ATOZ.
Man, I may need to look into that.
There you go. Get it, Jack.
You guys should look into BetMGM, though, because we've got a great promo code for you for all of our new users who are looking to sign up, get in the sports betting game. BetMGM is the place for you, and we'll help you out as well with our code A to Z Sports, ATOZ Sports. You'll receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. That's a lot of money that they're giving you just to lose your first bet. They've got your back. It's easy to start off in the green. So download BetMGM app download the BetMGM app if you're looking for a new sports book or just tired of your old one. BetMGM, use our code A to Z Sports.
All right, Jack, the power is in your hands. It is the Magic Bucket. I'm here on the show. The Magic Bucket has just been traveling. It's been at my house, been at Zach's house, been at Sam's house. Now it's at Jack's house. We all live like within a mile and a half of each other, so it's not gone that far. So Jack, I guess, do you want to pull for you or me first?
Well, I want to pull for you first.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rummaging. What do we have here? Ooh, this is a long one. Oh my gosh. Okay, Austin, your Magic Bucket punishment is say I want to take you out to a nice seafood dinner.
I've done that.
And then head back to my place and see what happens in a sexy voice into the microphone.
I've done that before. It's not comfortable. So
if you've done it, do we want to do a new one?
Yeah, you pull another one. Yeah.
Okay. Another long one. During the next non-live show, you must drink a full beer seltzer before the first full ad read.
Oh,
Ooh, I like this.
Uh,
If not finished accomplished, you must shotgun another beer to end the show.
I
Are you a
have
chugger?
done that. I have done that one. But I feel like that's something that I can do again. That's like a fine repeat.
And it's
Magic
good
Bucket.
for the Friday show.
Yeah. So I will
Okay.
do that tomorrow.
We'll hold you to
Reluctantly.
that.
Yeah. I will. Me tomorrow. I'll have to chug that beer.
Okay.
I've actually got one in the fridge that's just kind of solo. Like it's weird. Like I've had like a solo beer just by itself in the fridge. It doesn't have any other beers of its kind next to it. So it's
destiny.
kind of it's waiting for this moment.
Yeah, just don't speed going off the Cool Springs exit. Okay, my turn now.
Yes, this is for you, Jack.
Try to juggle with 3 pieces of fruit, any fruit of choice. Don't have 3 pieces of fruit. Threw my bananas out and going out of town this weekend. So I'm going to have to do a new one. Let me do a new one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Okay. 30 seconds on the clock. Make as many animal noises as you can.
This is so good. This is my favorite. All right, hold on. I will get your stopwatch ready.
What do we have, like a record for the most amount of animal noises? Can we maybe set one today?
I did this last year at training camp. Zach's done it before. I don't know if Sam has done it, but this is by far my favorite. And I think maybe I got like 12.
That's good though. Okay.
All right. So, again, 30 seconds to make as many animal noises as you possibly can. I have my phone ready to go. I will count. There's no repeats. You can't just do 2 dogs, even if it's 2 different type of dogs. All right. So,
Okay.
I will count
Don't
and I will
cheat me.
hit the start button on your first noise.
Ready?
On you.
Meow. Woof, woof. Moo. Neigh. A roar. Lion noise.
What was a lion?
Caw, caw.
Pretty good.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ooh.
What was that?
It was monkey.
Okay. Done.
Bah.
Nope. Sheep didn't. That weak sheep did not get in there. So you had 8.
Oh, I forgot the pig oink. Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
man.
In my head, I was like, I'm gonna crush this with 1,000,000, and then I ran out after the lion roar.
After the lion roar, yeah.
Stephen said that lion wouldn't last 24 hours in the jungle. Yeah, that lion's not built for this, is he, Stephen?
Oh, that is by far my favorite Magic Bucket because everybody looks like a complete fool doing that. It's so funny. It's so good.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your performance?
I felt pretty terrible about it. The only one I'm confident in is the
Yeah, that was good.
pigeon.
Yeah, the pigeon. Yeah, you do. Jack Gentry does a pretty good pigeon.
Well, I've practiced it because I'm a big supporter of AJ Swan, and that's the closest noise to a swan noise that I could think of. So whenever AJ Swan, Vandy's quarterback, does something big, it's you got to do the wings with it too.
No, so that wasn't a lion. Eric says that was the red stallion.
Yeah, that's a great comment. Yeah, my line needs work. It's hard to really give a full roar at 9 a.m. on a Thursday morning. So.
Well, you had coffee this morning and you watched the sled video. You should be fine to let out that roar.
I know. I wish I could have known that this was coming. I could have had so many more animal noises for you guys. I feel like I've let you down.
All right, Jack. Good stuff. Great stuff on the show. I know you're headed out of town. That's why you don't have any fruit to juggle. So hope you have a good trip. Appreciate it, man. And we'll see you again soon. Check out plug the Tighten Up podcast from this week.
Tighten Up podcast. This was our annual record prediction episode, making fun of all the people that predict the record. Every single time the schedule comes out, it's content. You got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do it.
But we make fun of it. We have a lot of fun talking about it this week. Also, Titans Amy Wells has a lot of fun with us. Little Josh Wiley hype talk, and we preview some of our hype machine candidates. Colton Dow, I'll let you in on a little secret. Colton Dow is one of them. So check out the Tighten Up podcast this week with Amy Wells.
Yep, do it wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, and also make sure you follow the guys Tighten Up Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter for funny, silly content. But yeah, always a great listen every week. It comes out on Wednesdays. Thanks, guys, for watching today. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button before you head out. Always appreciate the likes. There's always more people watching than have actually hit that like button, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. So do it before you head out of here. That just makes our show bigger and better to have great conversations and to create more of you guys to have friends of the show as well. So we'll see you guys on Friday morning. We'll have to chug a beer. Buck Rising live tonight, A to Z Sports Primetime. Appreciate it as always.